3 debuts, 7 big returns, and Becky Lynch beating the ever-living crap out of 4 distinct individuals. She's making a lot of enemies recently. Yes, it's time for the Women's Royal Rumble. We previously booked the Men's Royal Rumble 1 to 30 all the way through, and now we're going to do it for the Women's. A winner will be crowned. 29 women will fly over the top rope, and I'm going to break it down entrant by entrant, elimination by elimination. Entrants 1 and 2 always start with a bit of an actual wrestling match. Something that will actually be a spectacle and convince people to stick around for the entire Rumble. I'm going to start, and don't leave now, with number 1, Nia Jax. She's actually made a very strong impact on Monday Night Raw since appearing to take on Rhea Ripley. The one-on-one match hasn't actually happened yet, but there's plenty more that Nia Jax is now going to be involved with. She's beaten up Becky Lynch recently. Revenge will be had, just you wait. But that will not be our number 2 just yet. Our number 2 will be our first debut, and a debut we've been waiting for a very long time. Number 2 will be the arrival of Jade Cargill, who will appear as number 2 and go quite a distance. Nia Jax and Jade Cargill starting off the Women's Royal Rumble, with Jade Cargill making a beeline to destroy Nia Jax. I want to make a point of taking advantage of the strength of Jade Cargill, the overall level of performance. It might be a bit of a big hoss match, but I'll absolutely take that, and let's just say the next few entrants probably lean into it more than I should. The match itself will be short-lived, the result inconclusive, as our third entrant will join the fray. This will be Raquel Rodriguez. She fits the mold of the big hoss match. She can also compete. Both women can competitively slam Nia Jax. I just think that would be very fun to watch and really get the crowd going. Raquel Rodriguez is also working a little bit hurt though, so we won't keep her too long. Our fourth entrant continues this trend, Bianca Belair, someone with great pedigree in the Royal Rumble in the past, and someone who can also join in the competitive slamming of Nia Jax. Also, this gives us a possibility of a nice stare down between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, a match a lot of people are very excited for. Nia Jax is getting a bit bullied at this point. We need to even the playing field and get some heels in there. But there actually aren't that many outright heels in the women's division outside of Damage Control, who are all on the SmackDown side. I'm going to throw in Shayna Baszler here, a former tag team partner of Nia Jax and someone who gave her an injury that sent her out of the picture. I just feel with this particular collection of people, Shayna Baszler fits perfectly because while they're abusing their strength, she's a bit more smart. Also, this is building towards one of our other returns, which you'll find out about shortly. This is also the end of the run for Raquel Rodriguez. Someone unfortunately has to go first, and Raquel Rodriguez, as I've mentioned, has been working hurt for a while. This gives her the opportunity to be the first victim of a Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler team up, and also then makes it very clear that there is a face side and a heel side that are about even. Piper Niven joins the fray at number 6, going onto the heel side and essentially making the heels a dominant faction. This allows Nia Jax to get a bit of rest and Shayna Baszler to show off what she can do. It also gives us the sort of unenviable position of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, having had their stare down, now teaming up to take on a varied opposition. This does create an absolute block, and it means we may need a hero to save us. We're about to heat up the first phase of the Women's Royal Rumble. Number 7, Becky Lynch arrives, not only to even the odds, but also to pick a fight, and there are plenty of people she has a lot of history with in that match already. We've got Bianca Belair there. Jade Cargill's the only one she's actually not had a match with already, but we're going to focus more on the heel side. She's going to go straight for Nia Jax, and this is the first of a number of occasions when Becky Lynch picks a fight, drags someone to the outside and just beats the hell out of them. Some fights will be even, this one will not be. Nia Jax is gonna get a beating in this Royal Rumble. She's one of the most hated people to ever be a part of the WWE, and this is a wonderful way to keep that crowd excited. Nia Jax will not be eliminated, nor will Becky Lynch, but certainly we'll be moving them out of the ring to just outright fight. If you've watched my video for the Men's Royal Rumble, you'll know that I quite like having two things happen at once. Number 8 is Natalya, an amazing pedigree as a wrestler, some good experience in the Royal Rumble, but in general, not someone who has a lot of focus on her at the moment. Number 9 is Chelsea Green. This re-establishes the tag team Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, and this is where we see Natalya eliminated. It's also where Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill finish what is their team up to eliminate Nia Jax also. This means we have a much smaller collection of people in the ring ready to go to war, but enough people that it's going to make a huge impact if somebody arrives to clear it out a little bit. Someone with a lot of history with people in this ring. Number 10 is Ronda Rousey. Now, I can hear you booing, and that's okay. The same thing will not happen to Ronda Rousey that it did to Nia Jax. Nia Jax got beaten to hell. Ronda Rousey will be able to hold her own against a Becky Lynch who's already a little bit strained. Now, before we get to that point though, there are some eliminations in order. Ronda Rousey won't actually start by focusing on Becky Lynch. Shayna Baszler eliminated from the ring. At the same time, the team up of Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, that doesn't work for Ronda Rousey. She eliminates both, clearing the ring of 3 women and meaning that she can stare directly into the eyes of Becky Lynch. Much like what happened previously, Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey just straight go to war. However, Ronda Rousey has the advantage. This is important. Number 11 is a debut from NXT, Tiffany Stratton, someone again that Becky Lynch has a lot of history with and in many ways her salvation. Tiffany Stratton's purpose here actually isn't so strong, but it guarantees her a friend for life. Tiffany Stratton goes straight for Ronda Rousey, and while she does get a few hits in, she's not able to survive for long. Ronda Rousey eliminating Tiffany Stratton pretty quickly. That said, the moment at which Ronda Rousey is dragged away from Becky Lynch is all the moments that Becky Lynch needs. Ronda Rousey next to be eliminated. She's actually in the ring for less than 4 minutes. While outside the ring, she continues to stare down at Becky. Becky just comes underneath the bottom rope and goes nuts once again. Becky Lynch just laying into Ronda Rousey, much as she had done with Nia Jax. The only thing that stopped her laying into Nia Jax was the opportunity to lay into Ronda Rousey. This is going to be a recurring theme that I didn't expect when I started planning this, but it's a very happy coincidence. We have another return at number 12, and it's another big one. One that will get the crowd chanting someone else's name. Number 12 is Naomi, a woman of immense talent who will be in a ring with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. A triple threat for the ages. We only get about 2 minutes of it, but I definitely want to make sure these 3 women are given a platform to show off what they can do. We know about the athleticism, we know about the power, and we know about the commitment that these 3 women will bring to this particular sparring match. I'm just very excited for this as a concept. This particular run in the second phase sees a lot of big names join the match. At 13 is Bayley, unlucky for some. She will be on her own in the match, but she will be accompanied by Dakota Kai, who will come down to ringside with her still injured. While having Dakota Kai does create opportunities, it isn't something that they use too much. Bayley does want to do this on her own, but Dakota Kai picks her moments to snipe and make attacks. Number 14 is Liv Morgan, returning from a substantial injury. You'll note we're layering quite a few returns in a very strong period here. Liv Morgan will join the match. At the same time, I still expect there to be chance of, shall we say, Sasha Banks, but that's not coming. Number 15 turns the match on its head and very clearly indicates what the plan is going to be for phase 2. Number 15 is Asuka. That means we've got 2 members of Damage Control in the ring and 1 on the outside, and this is where power plays can start. This is also when I have Becky Lynch returning to the ring, abandoning Ronda Rousey to pick a fight with Bayley. There's plenty of history between them, but we haven't seen many actual one-on-one matches, so it's a good opportunity for Becky Lynch to take on Damage Control solo and suffer it. That said, this is not the third person that she's just going to start beating the hell out of, because while she's engaging with Bayley, number 16 enters, Trish Stratus. Becky Lynch, as you might imagine, is mad. She once again leaves the ring under the bottom rope, meets Trish Stratus on the ramp, and they just start wailing on each other. Again, they go in and around the ring but do not actually enter the ring. This creates opportunities for damage control. Bayley, Asuka and Dakota Kai work together to eliminate Bianca Belair, one of the big contenders and someone that Damage Control fully know is a non-stop threat. Right afterwards, they aim for Liv Morgan, again someone just returning from injury, and eliminate her as well. While they might have Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan out of the picture, Damage Control is not in full control as of yet. Jade Cargill and Naomi working together in many ways to support each other against that threat. Becky Lynch may be distracted elsewhere, but there is still more people to come, and at 17 we get Candice LeRae to enter the ring and even the odds a little bit. This is an area where after a big return I'm calming the situation because there won't be many more big returns. Number 18 is Alba Fire. Once again, there is an intention here to make you take your eyes off the match. Lesser known names who can still perform to a higher quality and a high standard. It's also important to communicate to the audience that there's not just going to be surprise after surprise after surprise, return after return after return. We are not going to see that many people popping back up from out of nowhere. Anyway, number 19 is AJ Lee. AJ Lee's arrival heralds the end for the dominance of Damage Control, and while none are eliminated immediately, it does have a complete swerve as to how the match has gone so far. Becky Lynch returns to the ring to eliminate Trish Stratus and spends a moment just sort of looking at AJ Lee like, who are you? Why are you in my ring? This is also a moment at which the face versus heel dynamic starts to break down. Much as we had in the men's Royal Rumble, there is a clear balancing act that you have to do for men and women for face and heel. There is all of these breakdowns and dynamics which are important when you're running a match. You can't just have the heels dominate the entire thing, much as you can't just have faces teaming up all the time. There are lots of small team-ups, but the arrival of AJ Lee starts to sort of blur those lines, particularly when you consider that Becky Lynch just wants to fight people now. There is fire in the blood and she's ready to fight all of you. The distraction of that hot Irish blood, though, does serve to cost them. Number 20 is Kairi Sane, another member of Damage Control, and that means we now have 3 in the ring and 1 on the outside. They have control of the situation. Dakota Kai is telling them what they need to be doing, and even Bayley is listening. Bayley is not questioning it, even she is doing as she is told. This immediately pays dividends. Jade Cargill is eliminated by Damage Control. Alba Fire eliminated by Damage Control. Candice LeRae eliminated by Damage Control. Plenty of people who've just come into the match are eliminated, leaving, as previously mentioned, Naomi, AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, who get their stuff together to stand against Damage Control and actually compete. Help is on the way. We have another brief section here where some smaller names come into the match to sort of suggest that maybe the big return isn't coming. I'll tell you when we get into the big return, I promise you. Don't worry. Number 21 is Gigi Dolan, an opportunity for her coming up from NXT. She won't be in the match too long, but this is an opportunity to show off what she can do with a real variety of talent. We've got the Kairi Sanes in there who are good for the high flying. We've got Becky Lynch who's good for the real physical stuff. We've got Naomi who's good for the chain wrestling. You have quite a selection there. Number 22, Zoe Stark. I don't have Becky Lynch absolutely losing her cool here in the same way that she has done for a number of other people. I don't see respect either. So this creates an added tension in the match. Who can you trust? Who are you going to fight with? Number 23, Michin, Mia Yim on SmackDown. She is entering the match as a final gambit before the big return. This is designed to fill the ring up a little more, give us some people who ultimately, I'm sorry to say, can be eliminated relatively early in service of big storylines and big returns, like the Damage Control storyline. Number 24 is the big return, the one you've all been waiting for. Back up for Bayley, it is Dakota Kai. The Damage Control music hits. The members of Damage Control look around very confused because, well, we're all here. Dakota Kai steps onto the apron, rips off her skirt Miss Elizabeth style to show wrestling gear underneath it and no knee brace. She jumps into the ring and gets started. all of Damage Control are combined now, and for at least 2 minutes, they're going to dominate. Big names are about to be eliminated. We start with Gigi Dolan, we start with Michin. Zoe Stark just about survives because she makes the deal. You know what, Becky? We have to be friends now. We have to team up. It is very one-sided. Damage Control have a huge group. Meanwhile, Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, Naomi, and now Zoe Stark, who they don't entirely trust, are having to work together to survive. Something needs to tip these balances. Something needs to take a member of Damage Control completely out. Something needs to change this so much that the arrival of them fractures Damage Control entirely. Number 25 is Sasha Banks. Take a moment to imagine the scene. As the crowd goes wild, we zoom in on Bayley, who cannot believe her eyes. We zoom in on Becky Lynch, who is just ready to start throwing down with someone she never thought she'd see again. We look at Naomi, the pleasure on the face as a tag team partner and a long-term friend returns. And we also look at a Kairi Sane, at an Asuka, at a Dakota Kai, at a very nervous Damage Control who have just lost control. And losing control is exactly how this starts. We go to war, 5-on-5, but Bayley will not fight Sasha Banks. When afforded the opportunity, she rolls out of the ring. We lose track of her for a moment. Sasha Banks moves on, starts attacking everyone else. The opportunity arrives. Bayley, ignoring Sasha, who's teaming up with someone else across the way, slides back into the ring, uses the opportunity to work with Kairi Sane, eliminates Naomi. That then creates an overload. AJ Lee is next to go. She's still at a point where she may be training, but she won't have the full level of fitness required, so I have her relatively freshly involved. Also, with Sasha Banks just arriving, you can afford to eliminate a Naomi, you can afford to eliminate an AJ Lee before the crowd sours and starts booing. We also eliminate Asuka, because the double team and the fact that Bayley will not fight Sasha Banks creates opportunities. Asuka goes as well, taking Damage Control down to 4 members and nowhere near as dominant as they were. What we need now are numbers on the side of the faces. So this is what starts to happen. While Sasha Banks and Bayley continue to make each other nervous, destabilizing the bonds of Damage Control, 26 is Zelina Vega. She arrives to help balance the scale. 27 is Shotzi, who does go straight for Bayley. A little bit of revenge for Shotzi there. And again, taking Bayley somewhere she is not comfortable being. At the same time, Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks forget all protocol and start to have their own little war, which results in the elimination of Becky Lynch. Sasha Banks is now on a roll. She's eliminated Asuka. She's eliminated Becky Lynch. She follows up by eliminating Zoe Stark, someone who's been back and forth on either team and simply wasn't in a strong position with enough allies in the ring. At the same time, anything you can do, I can do better. Shotzi may have started a house of fire, but Sasha Banks protects Bayley from Shotzi, and the two work together to eliminate Shotzi. Once again, Bayley's loyalties hugely tested here. Number 28 is Nikki Cross. There are very few people left to enter this ring and only one return left to mention. Sasha Banks and Bayley split apart. They are no longer working together, but that brief moment when they worked together caused enough of a destablement. Kairi Sane is eliminated by the arrival of Nikki Cross. Damage Control are now down to 2, but are they? Because Bayley clearly is no longer listening to instructions from Dakota Kai. In fact, she's very much keeping an eye on what Sasha Banks is doing. Isla Dawn is entrant number 29. Shortly afterwards, Zelina Vega, relatively fresh into the ring, is eliminated, keeping a very small amount of people in the ring. We know where the focus is now. It's on Sasha Banks, it's on Bayley, it's on Dakota Kai. Let's put some focus on someone else. Someone who knows how to get eyes on them. Our number 30, one last return, one that I want to see stick around, Mandy Rose. Yes, I remember why she was fired, but it's her body and surely she can do whatever the hell she wants with it. Mandy Rose returns to the WWE to enter the Royal Rumble at number 30. Not a guarantee of a win as it used to be way back, especially with the quality in the ring already, but this is where things start to fall apart. The story between Sasha and Bayley is an obvious, easy one to tell. The story between Dakota Kai and Bayley is an obvious, easy one to tell. Bayley is no longer in charge of damage control as she once was. Dakota Kai has clearly been claiming that. She also has not been doing too much work. She admittedly has just returned from injury, but Dakota Kai has been directing traffic. Bayley's been there since number 13. Mandy Rose's return involves a lot of the other members of the ring, but at the same time Dakota Kai and Sasha Banks renew hostilities. The two of them have their own moment and their own match. Team Kick versus the CEO. Or the boss. It depends what they let her use. Mandy Rose has a good showing on her return. Nikki Cross is eliminated. Isla Dawn is eliminated. 28 and 29 are gone. That leaves us with our final four. Mandy Rose, Dakota Kai, Bayley and Sasha Banks. Yes, you know who's going next. We know the core three, the people that all the focus is going to be on at this point. We know one of these will win and go on to WrestleMania. Two of them, we don't even know what brand they'll be on. Will they go for Rhea Ripley? Will they go for Io Sky? One of them, you know, will never go for Io Sky. So let's talk about how this one comes about. Mandy Rose does not want to be forgotten. This is a moment when she can make a clear imprint and she wants to get involved. So she goes for Bayley while Dakota Kai and Sasha Banks continue to fight it out. This is largely a success for her. Bayley is exhausted, but as it looks like Bayley's going to get eliminated, Sasha Banks intervenes again. Sasha Banks distracts Mandy Rose long enough for Sasha Banks and Bayley to eliminate Mandy Rose. Dakota Kai immediately jumps at this opportunity and eliminates Sasha Banks. Dakota Kai celebrates in the ring. For her, this is victory. It doesn't matter what happens next. Damage control has won. Bayley takes a moment, looks down at Sasha Banks, looks over at Dakota Kai, snarls a little bit, and then charges. She beats the ever-living hell out of Dakota Kai and slings her out of the ring without any moment of answer. Bayley wins the Royal Rumble. What happens next is hard to say. We've added a lot to the women's division there. AJ Lee, Trish Stratus, they would have been momentary appearances. Naomi, I don't think will be sticking around. But Dakota Kai is back. Mandy Rose is back. Ronda Rousey, again, one time. I don't see that one sticking. But more importantly, Sasha Banks is back. Bayley goes into WrestleMania to take on Io Sky with Sasha Banks as the equalizer in her corner. Let me know what you would do differently. Let me know what you thought as well. Let me know if you're excited for a Royal Rumble featuring all of those returns. I've been Tom Colliehue. Check out the Men's Royal Rumble video if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon.